Hello and welcome to another video with Liah. Today I'm going to be talking about how to get an A in chemistry. The first thing you want to do is to skim through class materials before the lecture. So that means you can go through the textbook or presentation slides if there are any and just see the pictures, the bold-faced words, and see for the terms, right, the key terms, if you can look at the definitions, or just briefly get an idea of what the chapter is about, what you're going to be going over. Then when you go to class and the instructor is talking, you will begin to connect the material by hearing the familiar terms and really having an idea of what is going on. And in class, you want to make sure that you minimize your distractions. So make sure that your electronic devices are off, or at least that the notifications are turned off, so you don't, hop onto another site during class, and that, you save conversations with your friends until after class. And also what you want to do while you're sitting in the lecture is to ask questions if you have any. That's what the instructors are there for, and to answer any questions that the instructor might pose to the class. And after the class, you can also, if it's possible, go to the instructor and maybe ask a few clarification questions if there was something that was slightly confusing to you. Or you can also ask them to fill in the blanks, like if they were doing a problem and then they moved on a little bit too quickly. You can just go ask them and see if you can just fill in the blanks right then and there so that you are ready for your study time. So after class, right, is the time when you study and do your homework and any other things that the instructor might have assigned. During your study time, make sure that you go over your lecture notes, right? The instructor is going to make the exam, the instructor is teaching the class, so make sure you pay attention to what they have said, make sure you really understand that. And then also keep a place in your notebook or your binder where you can write down any questions that you come across while studying, okay? And you want to just have that little list so you can take it to office hours or tutoring or supplemental instruction, known as SI sometimes. But back to studying, I would recommend that you do your homework alongside. So that means when you are reading your notes and reading the textbook, right, that you have your homework to practice those concepts on. So chemistry is at least general chemistry, right, it's a problem-based course. So you're solving problems, you're doing math problems involving chemistry concepts. So I would really recommend that you do your homework alongside your studying. Remember, homework is not a test exactly, right? It's a chance for you to learn. It's a chance for you to get practice doing the problems for the exam. So that means you can use all kinds of resources to do your homework, like your notes, your textbook, the presentation slides, online articles and videos, etc. There's plenty out there on general chemistry, so make sure you really take advantage of those and let them help you with your homework and your studying, right? Because you're aiming for that A. Another thing you can do to help you get an A in chemistry is to attend tutoring. Tutoring might be one-on-one, or it might be in a small group. If it's in a small group, right, you can interact with other students who are taking the course at the same time as you. Another thing you can do is go to office hours. These are hours that the instructor might set aside to answer students' questions about the course. There you can take your questions that you had written down while studying, and you can also maybe get homework help if you're struggling on a particular subject. And lastly, there is supplemental instruction, or SI, and that is when a student who has previously taken the chemistry course you are taking now is there to help students. Usually there might be a handout, right, that has chemistry-related questions, and in those sessions, those problems are solved and discussed, and the SI leader will probably provide some tips and thought processes on how to solve those questions. So you can hear from someone who has gotten a reasonable grade in the course to help you in your success to getting that A. Also in SI are other students who are taking the same course as you. So, you can answer their questions, they can answer some of yours, and you can have a chance to see what their thought processes are, and you can have a chance to answer some questions that they might have, right? It's an exchange of information. So supplemental instruction is a really great opportunity to participate in. And finally, I would like to talk a little bit about exam preparation in order to get an A in chemistry. So a big thing in chemistry is that you want to be keeping up with the material. So that means you should review on a regular basis and have all that material, right, learned over a course of, the weeks. several weeks leading up to the exam and not just the night before or a couple days before. You want to have all that time to review and study, ask questions, and do the problems, okay, and not just one night, because it's going to be really hard to learn everything in just a single night. Chemistry is a subject that builds upon itself, so earlier material will be used in later material. That's why you want to keep up. And if you keep up, there's a greater chance that the night before the exam you'll actually get enough sleep, which is really important because it's really hard to remember concepts and do well on an exam if you're really tired and half asleep. Okay, so make sure you get enough sleep before the exam, don't cram, and just keep up with the material, right? Keep doing the problems, keep up with the homework on a consistent basis. So remember the homework to supplement your studying and just keep up in that way. Alright, so those were my tips on how to get an A in chemistry. If you found this video helpful, please let me know down in the comments, and please subscribe if you would like to see more. I'll see you next time.